All right, what do you think about the Roval?
Well, I'm glad it wasn't called a road course. they got. I guess they got the right name for it. You was there. I had to watch it on television. I got caught seeing after the second stage, but I did watch it because I taped it. So
okay.
It was pretty interesting, I guess.
Yes and no. Okay.
On account of the chase.
Well, the big deal that I sort of, in my mind anyway, a bunch of them guys wasn't racing, they was trying to get points. Instead of trying to win the race, they just wanted to keep their point standing or try to get points. So to me, a lot of times the way the thing winds up, the guys start racing for points at the end of when they race, a whole season they do, but at the end of the season they really look at the points. So like some of the guys stayed out to get like the 45.
He played it perfect.
The 45?
Yeah.
No, he didn't. Okay, because he stayed out to get points because he was below the cutoff line. Okay, then he got back in the back, and he never could get all the way back through because of the way
he was out of the standings and got back in.
Well, he
so
got
that's
back
where he
in,
played
but then,
it good, I thought.
But then he wasn't able to finish that up. Now the 8 car.
But you're talking about going for a win,
right?
Okay.
In other words,
we're talking about getting in the chase.
He was looking, I think, more at the points than he was trying to win the race.
Well, I'm sure he was. Yeah.
And he had a car very capable of winning the race if he'd have played it right. Because the 8 car was not that good a car, but they made perfect timing on their pit stops. They stayed where they needed to stay, and he wound up 3rd. And he was probably a 10th or 12th place car, but the strategy that they had was really great because he knew that the only way he was going to get in was win the race.
I think the car that really got hurt for winning the race was the 9 car.
Was the 9 car.
No question about it.
Well, yeah, he was probably the best car. The 9 car was the best car. Probably 45 was probably the second best. And the big deal was the way he made pit stops and stuff. They kept getting him in the back of the pack, and he was so good that he was able to get back up to second place. But if he'd have played it like the 8 car did, or the 16 car, they played the pits perfect.
But what got
and the 9 car had been long gone.
But what got the 9 car, Richard? He was coming in the pits,
and then the caution,
and he got back out, and then that really messed him up.
But the big deal is he should have went ahead and pitted. If he'd have went ahead and pitted at that time, then all them cars behind him would have pitted and had to put him back up in the middle of the pack.
Well, I think pit road was closed, so he'd been back at the start.
Well, you might be right. Yeah.
Okay, but here's the deal. Here's what was happening. Coming to the stages, they were pitting 6 and 7 laps
early
before pit road was closed, and the 9 car waited to 2 laps when they. And it bit him, but like you say, see, I wasn't there, but you've seen it all.
The deal was the 9 car strategy was just wrong. Okay,
only because of that caution, Richard. See, they need to put a line back there somewhere. If you're committed to the pits and the caution comes out, you're still free to come in without being penalized. But years ago, like at Pocono, and Travis Carter was great at it. If the caution come out and he was somewhere in the back, he'd come in before pit road was closed. But they didn't have all these.
They didn't close pit road at that time.
I got that.
You could come in anytime
he
you
didn't
wanted
bunch them up. Yeah, it's altogether different.
Yeah.
But
the 43 never run good at all. He spun out to begin with. They finally got in a wreck and stuff up there. And poor boy in the 42 couldn't run a lick. But I think he got caught twice for coming in too early and one time for maybe speeding. So,
okay, but he'd
have finished in the top 18 or 20 just because there was a bunch of cars that fell out.
I'm looking at it, but Denny he knocked his fender off when Denny spun. He ran over Denny. Okay, the 42 did.
Yeah, but that didn't hurt him on the road course part.
But let's give AJ credit.
Well, you got to give AJ. AJ was really good.
He was,
and he was probably the second or third quickest car. The 9 car was still quicker because the 9 car ran and caught him. But the deal was that I think by the time the 9 car caught him, he'd done used up his tires.
Yeah.
And AJ just stayed steady, and didn't make any mistakes.
No,
and their pit strategy was perfect for him. But to begin with, he ran up front to begin with, though. I mean, he worked his way right on up in there.
But, I mean, you brought up the point, the 45, like you said, the only thing he was doing was point hunting.
Point racing.
And he was outside the final 8, and he got in, and the 6 got out.
Yeah,
so,
right.
And he kind of beat himself to a certain degree.
The circumstances didn't let him get there. You mean?
But I don't know, Richard. It's
yeah, I don't know about these road races. Hopefully, next year they're not going to have as many. But as far as I know, they're going back to the Roval again next year.
Everybody thought they was going to not go back to the Roval, and then when the schedule come out, it's got Roval behind it, and I'm sure it's going to happen.
Indy is going back to the big track.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mean? So they're cutting out three or four of the road course for next year. And, we're not a road course. NASCAR is not a road course operation. 2 or 3 road courses in the season is okay, but they was getting too far into the road course deal. Like IndyCar used to be a round and round deal. Now it's strictly like Formula One. 2/3 of the races they runs on road courses, so it makes a different league out of it.
Well, I had somewhere to go Sunday, and like I said, but I watched the start of the Formula One race. You brought it up. They throwed the green flag, and the 2 Mercedes took each other out. They were second and third qualifying. So, and one of them couldn't finish, but I think one of them come back and finished pretty good. But the restarts, I'm surprised that when AJ was up there, that the 54 and the 8 and maybe the 24 after they got. I'm surprised they didn't wreck each other as hard as they's racing.
Well, the deal where they had the restarts.
That helped it, didn't it?
Well, the outside groove, the inside guy had to cut sharp and get on his. The outside groove had a big deal, so he didn't spin his wheels, and he was able to accelerate. So the outside guy always beat the inside guy by the time they got to the first turn.
I believe AJ could have beat the 8 and maybe the 54 if they'd have got ahead of him. But if the 24 would have got out front, I don't know where he could have.
It's 9 car. If the 9 car got out front.
Yeah, but he was still way back making his way up through there. But I think he really – I think they was going to come in just before pit road was closed, and I think he'd get out in front of all them. So I think he was a big loser in Sunday's race and still come back and finished 9th.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyhow, we through with the road course deal. I think they got – don't we run another road course somewhere?
No,
in the
not this year.
The finishes?
Xfinity?
No. In the playoffs, is there another road course?
No.
Okay.
No,
so
we got
back to running.
We got Martinsville, which is hard to pass,
but that's not a road course.
Okay, but
well, they go to
Homestead.
We go to Phoenix now, right?
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, right? Okay.
And then Homestead, which is a wore-out track, and I guess Phoenix is too. And then Martinsville, and then
Martinsville's the cutoff deal, right?
Yeah, and then you got Phoenix.
Yeah.
For the last one.
It's gonna be still interesting because any of the guys that's made the playoff, and circumstances fall for them, they can win. Even the guy that's in 8th place now.
Yeah,
You mean? I guess the big disappointment that I've seen in the way they do the points and stuff, which I don't like, is because the 19 car has run terrible all these deals, and he's still at the top of the dadgum list.
Second.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so they carry off points. But if they just went by point by point by point, he would have been eliminated.
Yeah.
But
the bonus points over the year.
They're capable of putting the whole thing back together and him still winning the championship.
Yeah.
But right now he's going to be if things don't change, he's going to be out and not even make the top 4.
But bragging on AJ again, he's a winner not being in the final 8.
Yeah.
So that shows up, and maybe there'll be some more winners out of the chase. But television is all about the chase right now, so you don't really know what's going on in the rest of the field.
They don't keep up with nothing. Just keep up with the chase cars.
So we'll both be watching it on television this week. You're not going to Vegas, and Mary won't give me enough money to gamble with us, so I can't go.
I got to go to Vegas for the SEMA show, so that's going to be enough Vegas for me.
Oh, yeah. I'll send you $20.
Okay.
See you.